Hi, everybody. I don't think my sound is working, so I really appreciate you guys taking the time to jump on. I think everybody can hear me now, so without further ado, I will just do my reintroduction. The show doesn't stop, but my name is Kat. I am an annuity sales director here at IMS, and I've been here for a couple years. It's been a really great experience getting to work with such a mixed bag of agents and agency owners. It's been such a pleasure because, nationally you're dealing with people from all over the country. And so, of course, you've got different time zones, you got different personalities, and you also have different backgrounds and different agents in different parts of their business. And so we welcome you all here to IAMS into the webinar. I'm really excited for this one because this is the 26 sales ideas for 2026. We actually have a guide that our in-house creative department put together, and I put it all into one slideshow so that I can share it with you all if in case you don't have a chance to read it or if you don't have it yet. A lot of you guys have requested it, so here I am giving you the summary. So before I get into all of that, we always have our housekeeping, of course. So this is going to be for agents that need a refresher on all of the resources that we have here on IMS, and also for our newcomers. So there are a couple of people on here that I saw that might not be contracted with IMS yet, and that's okay. Just definitely take a peek, take a good listen. Feel free to give us a call, and we can give you the lowdown as well personally. So without further ado, we've got our new producer builders. This is for agents that are just coming on to IMS, and you have 180 days to meet these different tiers of annuity production. Life insurance might be a little bit different, but these are the main tiers that we focus on for annuities. And so at the $100,000 level, that's $100,000. That could be one case for many people. And on $100,000 level, you can get a 1,500 piece postcard mailing, iPad, $750 cash, or pretty much anything that you might already have in marketing that you can think of. I want you to see that we go from the $100,000 level all the way up to the $1,000,000 level. And you're going to see a lot of different incentives here, but I do not want you to be limited by what you're seeing here because a lot of you guys already come with marketing and we don't want to change what's already working for you. What we really want to do is enhance and create impactful results for you. And so if you have something that's already working, just feel free to use the different tiers that you get through as part of marketing reimbursement. Now we do have marketing reimbursement. So after the 180 days, you graduate into our marketing dollars program. That's what we call it. And for every $100,000 of indexed annuity premium, we pay you $100 back into your marketing account. And that also applies to the life insurance. So for single premium life, for every $100,000 that you're doing, you actually get $200 back. So that's a huge deal. There's some really great options in the single premium life channel like Equitrust. They've got great annuities, but they've also got a great single premium life product. Highly encourage you to give us a call if you're not writing enough single premium life, or if you are, but just don't know about the product. We also have Life Target premium. So on every $10,000 of premium, so if you're doing term, whole life, etc., you get $200 back per every $10,000 of premium that you're doing. So really, really great way. I've seen people especially do that life target premium in the span of a month. So certainly make use of that because it all goes straight back into your marketing. We also have our referred producer program. $50 one-time bonus when you refer an agent over to us. So just like you guys love referrals, we love referrals too. It is the greatest compliment that you can give anybody. So certainly we appreciate that. It doesn't go unnoticed when you guys refer agents to us. We give you a $50 one-time bonus. Oops, sorry, technical difficulty, but we give you a $50 one-time bonus when you refer agent contracts to us. And on any piece of business that they're writing. So on FIAs, life target premium, single premium life, MIGAs, you also get a nice little override. Now, just to explain, that override does not come from your fellow friends' commissions. It actually comes from us, from IAMS. So these are the favorite checks that Charles and Steve like to sign because, again, like I said, there really is no greater compliment, and we appreciate the fact that you would give us more agents to partner with. So truly don't take that lightly at all. On life target premium, it's 15 basis points. On single premium life, that is 75 basis points. On MIGAs, you get 10 basis points. And then on FIAs, you get 20 basis points. And we pay that out on a quarterly basis. So there's definitely no limit to that. And it, again, can all go straight into your marketing account. We also have great back office support. So for the last nearly 40 years, we have never had voicemail. We've never had AI. We've always had live people picking up the phone. We've always had people coming into the office full time. And we have a few remote workers, but they just have such a high level of service that we can trust them at home. So it's been a terrific back office, I think mainly because of the people. But electronically, of course, we've got great business building tools and resources available on the IMS portal. We have great case design assistance. So like I said, every time you call in, you get a live person. And so you can call in with any case discussion that you'd like to go through, help you close up a case. I do power hours with some of my agents, and it is really, really good for them because sometimes it's not even just about the product you're choosing. Sometimes it's just about little tweaks here and there. And we've also got some great forms, some fact finders available in our back office portal that you can utilize if you're not already using fact finders. So just a lot of great material there. And of course, our new business team, they're absolutely terrific, both on the life and the annuity side. I truly think that we have the best in the business. You know, nobody else has a Michelle as a life new business case director. Nobody else has a Mackenzie. So we are truly so lucky to have the people that we do. We also have our IMS website. So I was saying earlier, we have a lot of great things available on the IMS portal. We also give you Annuity Rate Watch for free. On Annuity Rate Watch, you can actually quote income quotes right then and there. You can see side by side what your competitors are doing or what some of the other agents might be talking about if you're in competition with them. So that's always such a fun and good tool to use. Um, and of course, it is a double-edged sword. It gives you so many options, but always, consult with an annuity director to really see what is working in your practice and what might be competitive for you in that certain case scenario. So lots of great things on the IMS website. We also have Retirement Analyzer that you're able to use. We've got long-term care product grids. We've got great underwriting material on the IMS portal. So there's just a wealth of information. Plus, you could also do all of your applications on the IMS portal. So going into that, these are our e-app solutions. I'm sure you guys are all very familiar with Luma Firelight, iPipeline, Sunfire. These are all of the biggest e-app platforms that pretty much all the carriers use. And so we're really glad to have partnered with Luma. Now, Luma is a next tier, next level type of thing. So, we were there from the very beginning. And so, of course, it's gone through its different progressions. But now when I see it and we're putting reports together, it's so much more advanced. And it was advanced from the get-go, but now it's offering so much more capability where we're able to track in-force applications that might be coming into surrender or out of surrender. And you might have some sort of replacement opportunity, of course, in the best interest of your client. So there's really a lot of great stuff. And then in the future, I know Loom is also going to be tracking product training. So really incredible things that we have going on. We also have our creative services. Now, our creative services, I could brag about them all day. They're the ones that created this guide, the 26 sales ideas for 2026 that I'm going to talk about. And amongst all of the stuff that they do here internally, they do so much, like 10 times more for our agents. So they put together agency solutions, they put together digital solutions, turnkey options. They truly do the best, and they all are here in the office, and so it's really easy to get a hold of them. You know, if you ever have something that you're urgently pressed with, they're all so accommodating and so willing to help. So I certainly hope that you are taking full advantage of our creative services here if you are contracted and not have had the chance to meet any of them yet or talk with them. Um, we also have our creative services and the marketing analysis. Now, we have actually taken it up a notch. So we have marketing implementation specialist, CJ. He has been such a wonderful addition to IMES because he will actually do this along with you and bring together a 20 page summary of what is working, a marketing analysis of what's working and what's not, and what we're doing afterwards. He's even put together a 90-day success plan as a follow up to the marketing analysis, and it's really wonderful. It's always been a two-piece process, but that 90-day plan after and following up that marketing analysis is really huge. And so, what this does is it refines your target market. It strengthens your brand, it explores new marketing opportunities, and it just helps improve your bottom line because what we want to do essentially is create omni-channel approaches for you in your marketing so that you're getting leads, you're getting people from multiple directions. That's always a good problem when you have too many people to talk to. And that's what we want to create for you. And it all starts here with an analysis. We do also have our IMES Wealth Management department. Now they're right down the street. Not only are they some of the sharpest people I've met, but they're also just so down to earth and so nice. And what they specialize in, their value propositions are increasing your revenue, improving client retention, and strengthening relationships. They've also been doing great leaps into bringing more people into the IMES Wealth Management department. So they've been working with lots of different advisors of all backgrounds as well to really just hone in on how they can scale the AUM side of their business. So if you are already securities licensed, I highly recommend that you get in touch with the folks over at IMES Wealth Management. And if you just need someone to make that connection, definitely feel free to reach out to me and I can get you in connection with them. We also have our Life and Annuity Academy. Our Life and Annuity Academy is a 3-day event, and Laura, she's usually the one that runs the show. She's working really hard to really set those dates already. So I've been seeing her all week work on these dates. It's been incredible, and we've got a lot of great people and carriers lined up to be sponsoring our academies this year. And at these academies, the featured topics are multi-million dollar keynote speakers, creating endless streams of prospects, how to get in front of more people, of course, building your practice and building your brand. And we just, you know, the biggest thing I think is being able to network with your fellow agents, because as we all know, it can get really lonely sometimes. Being an independent agent or an independent agency owner out in the field, it's crazy. So being able to network but also meet who you're doing business with is my favorite part of the Life and Annuity Academy, and it's some of the only times I ever actually even get to meet you guys. So if you haven't been to one, or if it's been a long while since you've been to one, highly encourage that you get invited this year, or just let us know that you'd like to be invited. I actually do have a poll where I can ask right now if you guys would like to come to our Ascend event. So once I launch this, go ahead and vote yes or no if you'd like to be invited to our IMES Academy. Now, some of you guys have probably already been to one of our IMES Academies, so totally get why you'd say no. Alrighty, so I am seeing a bunch of votes come in. I'm seeing hands raising. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I am going to close this out because we got to keep it going here. So I will share this again. Okay, and then moving forward, so these are our social media links. So Facebook, LinkedIn, definitely give us a follow because it helps you guys stay up to date with what's going on at IMES. Of course, we're always calling you. Of course, you're getting all our emails, but sometimes it's nice to just be scrolling and come across a friendly face like IMES. So definitely stay up to date with us. And I am going to switch over to the 26 sales ideas for 2026 now. And if you guys have any questions, I do highly encourage you to ask them in the chat box. Because I'm running this, I might not see it immediately, but I will take a look at the end. So again, if you have any questions, just go ahead, drop them in the chat or the question box. So the 26 sales ideas for 2026. Now, this is the guide that our creative team has put together. It's a lovely guide. Some of you guys may already seen it, maybe not, but I wanted to do a quick summary of this because I don't want you guys to miss out. There are so many different concepts and ideas that you can draw from here, and it's all different types of backgrounds, whether you're already investing into marketing or whether you're not. Definitely, there's one or two things at the very least that you can take from this guide. And at the end, there's also a bonus of this guide, but you guys are going to have to download that or ask me for it because the bonus is at the end of the guide. But first things first, resources. So definitely, just like I said, request our sales kit, the 26 sales ideas for 2026. We've got our IMES website, like I heavily mentioned, but do know we've got our sales resources library, annuity rate watch, life coding, and underwriting sources available there. Your IMES director, probably your biggest resource here. And if you work with a lot of us, if you call in for anyone on the annuity marketing side or the life marketing side, that's totally fine. Sometimes you might even get someone quicker that way, if in case we're on the phone. But that's that 2 ring guarantee where you get real people answering. That's what's really been effective in being able to get you the material and pretty much anything you need that you might be working on for that day. So your IAMS director is definitely going to be your biggest resource. We're right at the forefront of all of this. So, and we're happy and very eager to help. We've got CJ Jennings. I did mention him. He is our marketing implementation specialist. And then, of course, our in-house creative department. So I heavily mentioned all of these things because I definitely don't take any of these things for granted. And then I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. So to the right, you're going to continue to see the sales guide, but these are different bullet points that are listed throughout the guide, right? So showing up and standing out, being visible where people are, and also hosting high value events. Now, this specific page is going to center around seminars, webinars, or even really just learning to stand out using social media or a social presence. So, from statistics, 62% of people get local information online. And I can attest to this. It's just like looking for a restaurant. Maybe you want to look for a new restaurant. What are we going to do? We're going to pull up maps, right? And so it's not necessarily the exact same thing when it comes to looking for a financial advisor, looking for an insurance agent, looking for someone to sell me an annuity. But what they do is they're going to go immediately on Google, or they're going to go immediately online and see what kind of social presence they have, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on YouTube. It might not be any of those things. They might just be looking for a website because they think it's more credible. So really centering yourself with an online presence, whether it may be a website, whether it may be social media, that's a huge place to start. Sometimes for some people, it's even just a landing page to Calendly. And on these different platforms, you can use short expert clips. Like, for example, because of the industry that I'm in, I get these things all the time on Facebook or Instagram, for example, right? So on Instagram, every day at 6 o'clock, it never ceases to amaze me. There's this IUL guy educating people on IULs. Now, whether or not it's a live setting at that point, but whether it's pre-recorded, you actually have ways to automate that. So you can actually be educating a large mass of people on Instagram or on YouTube or on Facebook Live, for example, while actually being in an appointment just because you pre-recorded that video and automated it so it came out at a very specific time. Now that sounds like very high technology. For me, it certainly is because I'm not the most technology savvy. So what we're trying to do here is not center around people that are already technology savvy. What we want to do is really open it up so that you start thinking of bigger ways to really approach people because times are certainly changing. You know, when I first started in this a few years ago, I was still door knocking. I was still going and sitting at the table, and I prefer that method. But if there's a method where I can also sit at a table, but automate so that I'm also still getting my name and my presence out there, I'm going to do that because I want to double down on how many people I want to get across. So that's one thing. Host high value events, so in person plus live stream. So that's kind of what I was just talking about. So high boost or hybrid boost attendance by 35 to 50%. Now that pertains both to seminars and like what I just mentioned. If you are automating and putting yourself out there where there's a video of you out there going in at the same time, or let's say you're not even automating the time, it's not going at the same time. Maybe you've pre-recorded a video, like a video sales letter, and someone's clicking on it at their own time, at their own pace, watching it whenever they like. They could be watching it at 3 a.m. for all you know. You know, that's huge. So that's what we mean by hybrid going through the omni-channel approach, meaning you're doing in-person type of marketing and you're also doing online type of marketing. That will boost your business just by 35 to 50% based off of statistics. And so when you are, now that last bullet point, when you are doing a seminar, for example, using QR codes, so having something very simple that they can just put their phone up to, put the camera on, and then just click the link, that's huge. I mean, people, they do this at concerts all the time. So just think about it. The last time that you were in a concert, you were already there to have a good time, but when they make something really easy, when they have some sort of incentive, like, well, the 100th person gets free tickets to the next show or gets a goodie bag or anything, any sort of incentive, that boosts engagement. And that's another thing that you want to do. You want to boost engagement, but you also want to make it so simple for them to be able to access the information. And now, you know, not everybody is going to understand what the QR code is or opening up that link. I've seen that before. That's why it always helps. And that's another way that you get to sell yourself. So let's say it's 10 minutes before your presentation, 10 minutes before your seminar or something, and you have someone walking around asking if they were able to access that QR code without telling people that you're a high level, high service type of agent, it's showing them. So you're telling them that you're a high level, high service type of agent without actually having to say those words. And they already have that good seed planted before you're even on the stage presenting. So that's one tip. Another one is SMS. So SMS is just text messaging. So having compliant text messages being sent out as reminders or dripping, nurturing your clients, that is a huge thing. A lot of people don't want to pick up the phone anymore. They'd prefer a text message. So this is huge as well. And then personalized follow-up. So follow up before, but also maybe pre-qualifying the leads that you have before the seminars. That'll also increase the type of leads that you're trying to really target. So qualifying them before the seminar, but also following and nurturing them after is huge. Next, I wanted to also talk about building community and better connections. So on this page of the guide, we heavily talk about supporting your community, both online and offline, and effective networking. So this is a huge thing. I learned to network really early on in life just because of the different jobs that I had. And so I learned that there was networking and there was effective networking. So, effective networking is using online platforms to find the right referral partners. So, what we don't want to do is go online and just talk to everybody. It's kind of like just calling everybody in the yellow pages or knocking on everybody's door. That is heavily what we do not want to do, because what that's going to do is just waste time, and it's going to waste energy because there's no target. You're talking to people, you're getting in front of people, but there's no target to aim for. So you want a target market and you want to network effectively. So AI tools can match you by location and specialty. So if you have a certain niche that you're looking for, there's definitely lots of different tools out there that can help. We also heavily can help. Ryan Ogle, he is our person that specializes in SEO, search engine optimization here at IMES. He is really good at being able to pinpoint and target. He's made different lists for some of my agency owners that have been looking for the right candidates to work in their agencies. So we definitely specialize in this. And if you have any questions on what kind of tools uh, that might be available, certainly give us a call on this, because quality referrals can increase your practice by 28%. And if you show up consistently and give value to really build that trust with the client, I'm sure that that definitely doubles. The way that you can support your community both online and offline is through sponsoring local Facebook groups, podcasts, or school or work newsletters. So there's lots of different ways. With this, you kind of just have to get creative, and that's where the business can actually get fun. I know that sometimes the business can feel really draining, especially if you've been doing this for a while and not really seeing the results that you've been aiming for. Like I said a second ago, going after your specific niche, your specific target market can truly make all the difference. And you do, I know it doesn't always feel like you have control over it. You can have some sort of control of it. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind. Digital sponsorships can also keep your name visible. So there's a lot of different ways to get in front of maybe high net worth individuals. One of the ways I like to do that is through LinkedIn, just developing solid LinkedIn connections there, creating a relationship, especially if they're local. If they're local, you could always meet up with them. If they're not local, of course, there's always that disadvantage. But locally, I would highly encourage, especially if you still do local appointments, to meet someone that you're trying to look forward for, not just for clients, but for long-standing relationships, and start networking through there. Stronger referrals and workplace opportunities. So this specific page talks about building better referral partnerships and offering workplace financial education. So what this is, just a quick summary of that, is partnering with CPAs, attorneys, mortgage professionals, and realtors. So just like I was saying, networking efficiently, you want to partner with the right people, especially attorneys, especially if you do any kind of Medicare. Elder law attorneys are some of the best people that you can have. I have a really wonderful agent I work out with in Florida. Now, she has great connections to lawyers. And so from that, she draws a lot of great business. And she just maintains that relationship is all. So, truly can make a difference. The type of partnerships that you have, the type of relationships, all of the networking, it really, truly does matter. Using short videos, checklists, and tools, not brochures. So let's say you're actively prospecting on your feet. I have a lot of agents that do that. I have a really good one. She can talk to anybody. And the biggest thing that she'll even say is she doesn't talk about products first. She doesn't talk about what she can sell. What she likes to do is just get to know the client, get to know the prospect, and then maybe send over a quick video or a testimonial. And that's pretty much it. And she can also use checklists, tools, lots of different things. I'd probably stick with the testimonials. But again, it's personal preference. Everybody has such a different personality type. So I would say customize that to your personality type, the way you want to be running your practice, because at the end of the day, you're the CEO of your business. And then referrals, bringing in highest quality leads. What that just means is, so the type of people that you're networking with, the type of people that you're bringing in, the type of clients that you want to get referrals from are the same type of clients that you just worked with. Now these are high net worth, high high value individuals, because they're probably more than likely also networking with the same people, same type of people. So it can all just go in one big circle. And so it's kind of like when you come across someone who knows someone else mutually, and you just say to yourself, wow, it really is such a small world. That's how you want it to be at the end of the day, to be able to run an efficient, effective practice, especially within your area. And just meeting with those people quarterly to stay aligned. So that's huge, both in the networking and referral space. So when I say in the referral space, if you have clients that have been bringing you referrals, definitely nurture those clients. They're the ones that are continuing to give you business, and they did business with you first. So in my book, those are the ones that definitely need the most nurturing. And then again, offering workplace financial education. So providing simple workshops for employees, emphasis on simple. Um, you never want to load anyone with too much information, because they're pretty much just going to tune out. Share on-demand videos for easy access. 74% of employees want financial guidance, and that's the biggest thing, you know, especially in the demographic where they're not yet in retirement. If they're not yet in retirement, and if they've got a family, if they're still heavily in the workspace, retirement might be in the back of their mind, legacy might be in the back of their mind. And so if you show up with some very simple videos, some very simple workshops, they'll appreciate that, and they'll think of you first when it does come time for them to retire. They're a little bit closer to that. They will definitely want you to review their material, just because you've been so familiar to them from the get-go. Tax planning and niche growth. So this page talks about staying ahead on taxes and focusing on niche markets. So what we mean about talking about taxes is, at the end of the day, we are not tax professionals, although some of you guys are, but most of you guys are not. And so talking about tax brackets, RMDs, Roth conversions, and IRMA is huge, because what we don't want to do is be selling products that are not going to be beneficial for them or not tax efficient down the line. And I've seen that happen before, and it is really unfortunate. And what I don't want for my agents, what I don't want for any agent, is to put themselves in a sticky situation and tap out of the business altogether, or be so stressed that they just don't know what to do. I've seen it happen before. I certainly don't want that to happen to you. So just educating yourself on tax brackets. We have our macro tax planning kit. We also have our tax sheet, our tax fact sheet that we do every single year. So educating yourself on that, RMDs, Roth conversions, and IRMA. If we don't know about these concepts just yet, um, pretty much we are just selling FIAs, annuities, life insurance, and that's about it. We never want it to just be that. We always want to keep learning, and we always want to keep growing. Using simple charts to talk about these concepts. Now, these topics are really, really big concepts for people. So if you take the time to educate your client on it, and then you can make it simple for them to understand, you'll have a client for sure. 52% of people worry about tax changes. And honestly, that seems like such a low number because I feel like it's a lot more, but that is a big number in the grand scheme of things. But if you just go into this business with empathy, you realize pretty much everybody worries about tax changes, no matter what age you are, especially in tax season. So definitely take full advantage of that and educating yourself and all the resources that we do have here to educate you on these concepts. Focusing on niche markets, target specific groups, niche focus can double or triple conversions and then create custom pages and checklists for each group. So a little redundant, I will say, because I said this a bunch earlier, but again, this is a summary. And why we keep hammering it in here is because, again, we want to network efficiently. We don't just want to be talking to anybody and everybody. We want the people to really actually partner with you. So having that target market, having the right programs in place will really help. And moving on to the next page, we've got stronger reviews and deeper relationships. So this page talks about improving reviews, automating life updates, connecting with the next generation. These are all pivotal in your practice. So using simple templates to guide the client feedback, what that really just means is, um, using a checklist to be able to say, okay, this is what I currently have. And if we're able to review that, being able to say, well, this is the mail that we need, this is the mail that we don't need, because how many of you have been in a house where they've had mail sitting there since 2010? I've definitely been in houses like that before, and sometimes that's enough service that they need. So, you know every house that you walk into is going to be so different, or every virtual meeting that you have is going to be super different. At that point, you don't even get to see the letters, but just know they've probably had letters sitting there for quite a while if they're not on top of it, and that's why they look to you for your guidance. So keeping it simple will probably be the biggest thing that you can do for them, and keeping it simple by saying you don't need this anymore, you do need that. Having a checklist or having different resources to educate them if they have any questions on broth conversions and whatnot. Having video testimonials is huge, because nowadays people just like to watch a video anymore. And that's why here we are today. And so we do have different materials that you can use and create through our creative team as well. We do also suggest that you automate life updates. And what that means is really just checking in and nurturing your client on any major changes, like they could have moved, or they could have gone through divorce, or their spouse could have passed away. There's lots of different things that can happen in a year. So definitely always continue to check in and nurture your clients. There have been so many different cases where I've heard that agents haven't been in the house in years. And that is so upsetting to hear, because at the end of the day, these people are taking the time to sit with you, and they are signing that application that you are presenting to them. So really just remembering that in each and every single household makes such a huge difference, and it builds your CRM. You have 1 in 3 households that have big financial changes each year. And like I said, anything can happen in a year. So just continuing to stay in touch. And there's certainly automation for that. Like there's different CRMs that'll help you stay in touch, especially if you have a bigger book. Like we've got Client Connect, Julie. She's absolutely terrific, and she understands what it's like because she is also an agent herself. So she understands the nature of how much you need to drip on certain clients, how much you need to nurture them. So definitely, if you have not heard of Client Connect, definitely feel free to give me a call, or anybody on the marketing team can help you out with that. Connecting with the next generation. Now, this is huge, especially for referrals. So offering an easy online onboarding for adult children. So let's say you're working on some annuity casework, and those people are in their 60s. More than likely, they probably have kids that are in their 40s, maybe late 30s. And those are really good IUL life insurance prospects. So you can continue to build their legacy, but also your legacy as an agent. And not only that, it also just continues to add profitability into your book. So I would highly suggest that, whether you've been in this for a while and you're looking to retire, or if you are super aggressive right now and just getting going, always talk to the adult children, always talk to their kids and their beneficiaries. Sharing short, simple videos with them as well is also very powerful. So, what suits their parents might not suit the beneficiaries because they're still not of maybe the particular age of like an annuity, for example, but they might be in that great age for an overfunded IUL or some sort of life insurance. It's huge. Um, so definitely doing that and maybe hosting a family planning session to build long-term trust. That's huge. You could even maybe do a group session with them. That would definitely be a very effective use of your time. Boosting leads and building authority. Now, this page talks about interactive lead magnets, optimizing lead vendors, and LinkedIn authority. What we want to do is be as efficient as possible with every single thing that we're doing. And it's really hard to make everything effective, but as much as you can, you want this to be a well-running, smooth-running type of business, right? So that way, because of all of the work that you put in, you can step away from it at times. And so having interactive lead magnets, so quizzes, calculators, and mini courses, those convert 34 times better. So that'll certainly help when it comes to the leads that you're buying. Maybe having some sort of engagement will definitely increase whether or not they're gonna they're gonna stay engaged with you in your first appointment, or maybe even your second, third, and whatnot. Sending personalized results automatically, so making it as personable as possible and doing that on an automated basis will definitely help you because this can all be very, very time consuming. And even if you don't have a large book, it's still time consuming. So you definitely want to do yourself the favor and automate and keep efficient as much as possible. So optimizing lead vendors, so tracking performance and using multiple sources, not just one. Following up within 10 minutes for higher closes. So this is huge, following up with 10 minutes for higher closes. This is something that even we incorporate here as marketers. So, if we get a HubSpot lead, we're advised to call them within the next 10 minutes, within the first hour, or as soon as possible, because it's fresh in their mind. And if they put in their information for them to be contacted by you want to get them as fresh as possible. You do not want to let that get stale. LinkedIn authority, using creator mode, videos and newsletters, engaging users and building trust creates 3 times higher newsletter opens. So newsletter opens, i.e. emails, you want to make sure clients are also opening up their emails because if you are like me, I don't open up every email that I see that is coming from a person I don't know. So that's a lot of people. That's the majority of the people. So if you could find a way to really engage your users right off the bat, whether it be through a video or something fun, definitely do that. On the next page, we have smart retirement and content strategies. Here we talk about pension recovery, AI-powered content, and short form videos. So the part that I really want to touch on is the pension recovery. So this is a really huge concept that I think a lot of people may not know about, but PBGC search. It's an unclaimed pension search portal where over 80,000 people in America have unclaimed pensions. And so this is actually something that you'll find here in our guide. You'll find more information in this guide because, of course, this is just a quick summary. I only have so much time to be able to cover every single piece that's in here. But if you're going to take away anything in this piece, this is the piece that definitely stuck out to me, because if you think about it, you have over 80,000 people in America with unclaimed pensions. And so it makes you wonder, have I asked any of my clients if they have any unclaimed pensions? And maybe you did turn over every stone, but there's still 80,000 plus people out there if you have already turned over every stone. So just know that. Next, we do have fast and ongoing client engagement. So here we talk about real-time marketing, evergreen webinars, and awareness campaigns. So the part that I mainly want to touch on here are those evergreen webinars. So evergreen webinars, evergreen is not the portal or the platform. Evergreen just means a webinar. So kind of like this one where I can record it live once and can automate it. So I can record it and then I can continue to play it at a certain time. You guys can do that, or you guys can just set a time and then record live every single time. Totally up to you. But those webinars are huge because it creates that omni-channel approach. So if you could just sit down maybe for 2 hours out of your month just to do this, or you could sit down one time, one quarter, and continue to automate this, and maybe just put out a short video with some sort of educational piece that you'd like to touch on. That's huge. So 1 hour can really stretch a whole long way if you're doing it virtually. And of course, it will be another lead option for you. Adding polls and quizzes for higher engagement. So in those webinars, you do want to also include polls and quizzes for engagement. And so, you know, what we are saying here is definitely not something that is out of the ordinary. What we're doing is just staying as effective as possible. I mean, you guys even see us do this. You guys, we have this webinar going on right now, and I already shot a poll over and you guys were engaged. So if it works with us, it will definitely work with clients. And it definitely is something that I would highly encourage you to do if not already doing it. Engage locally and retain clients. So 3 topics here: organic, social, and micro communities, local SEO for AI search, and predictive retention. Now this seems a little bit more advanced, but I promise you it really isn't. What you want to do is just interact in Facebook groups and local networks, or on your website. So a lot of people already have websites, just creating maybe a chat box there. Or let's say you don't have a chat box, maybe you're just going off of a Facebook business page. That's fine. I actually came across a really successful agent today, and he just had a Facebook profile, and was just using the chat. So it definitely works. You just have to make it work for you. And again, just putting yourself out there. So it might seem like it's a lot more advanced than it is, but trust me, everybody can do this. And then if you post 3 to 4 times weekly with helpful content, that'll also boost that engagement and retention. So if posting 3 to 4 times a week, now that is a little bit more hands-on, it is a little bit more time. If this is something that is just too much time for you, we have our creative department that certainly can help with that and create what's called a fishbowl approach, where they are actually creating the content for you and posting it automatically on a 3 to 4 time a week basis. So that's huge. Local SEO for AI search, like I mentioned, Ryan Ogle, he's our guy for SEO. He's huge. He's worked on some of my agents' websites, and if you type in their websites, they come up first on Google every single time. And that is such a big thing for me to brag on, because my agents, all of my agents, I feel, deserve the world. So being able to see how hard they've worked and how much they struggled in the past just to be able to get their websites right at the forefront was huge for him. So definitely have Ryan to thank for that. And we do have, like I said, predictive retention. So predictive retention, that's just tracking behavior to spot drifting clients. And so that heavily can contribute to whether or not you've got a good CRM or not. So really just being able to track their behavior, like, are they opening up my emails? Are they opening up my texts? whatnot, lots of different moving pieces. But at the end of the day, you're not the one that has to be an expert in this. You're an advisor, you're an agent, you're a financial professional. That's what you're good at. That's what you're an expert at. So if you just let people help you, I truly know that things will definitely start to increase for you. I've seen it firsthand, so I know it's possible. And so with that, I did want to close out. Before I close out, I just wanted to launch a really quick poll here. I've got two more questions. So the first question would be, have you done business with IMES? So this is the biggest piece. If you've never done business with IMES, you know that our value propositions are very simple, but they mean so much, right? So we really capitalize on customization, collaboration, and best in class service. And I know a lot of IMOs probably say that, but we truly mean it. You know, we truly go to bat for our agents, and so does our new business team, especially. Our new business team is huge when it comes to processing business. We've got great turnaround times, but not only do we have good turnaround times, we've also got people that scrub Firelight and your applications for you, but also my biggest thing, especially, is the marketers and the new business team. We work hand in hand. And so when it comes to NIGOs, I've had some agents thank me just because he's seen a lot less NIGOs in his practice. So to me, that those are all really big compliments. So thank you guys for taking the time to vote here. I'm really glad to see that there was a mixed reaction to that, because of course the ones that haven't done business with IMES yet, you definitely want to experience that. So I am going to go ahead and close up that poll, and then I'm going to get back to your vision and our support. Just my closing remarks. Really, all of this guide it's been a long guide, of course, but it was 26 sales ideas for 2026. And what we hope that you get out of this when you do get this in your hands is the things to focus on are reaching and engaging with your clients and the people that you're networking with. So connecting with the right people through digital, social, and niche channels. And then the second thing, building trust. Because again, we want to be as effective and as professional as possible. So, really strengthening relationships with expert content, referrals, and family focused planning can really be a driving factor in your practice. Um, and like I said, of course, we've got our three value propositions. We truly hope to customize everything to your practice. Right, I said, like what I said at the very beginning, we've got a mixed bag of agents and agency owners. So we truly do want to customize our approach to what it is that you're already working with. So for the ones that haven't done business with IMES yet, just know that we will be reaching out to you, and we will take the customized approach and see how we can work together to partner with you. And what we love to do is really collaborate. So this whole thing was a collaboration, right? So this guide came from our creative department. I collaborated with Ryan and some of the people in creative to really put together this presentation. Definitely took some time to do that. And then that just concludes into our best in class service. So we take the time not only to work on casework, not only to be talking to you about business, but what we want to see are results, and steady results, and results that continue to propel forward. So that is not going to come with mediocre service. And so what we've got is best in class service. And I do believe that just because I come into the office every single day and I see that amongst our whole staff. So if I were you, I would take the next step, make 2026 your year, let it be your launch pad, or let it be the year that multiplies the success that you're already having. You can reach us at 800-255-5055. And I am going to check really quick to see if I had any questions pop up before wrapping up here. Okay, perfect. So I see that there were a couple things. So no, thank you, David. Appreciate you being one of our partners. We appreciate your business. Frank, I will definitely send you the link once this recording comes into play, and then you guys will have access to the slideshow as well. And then Kiara, what about building an agency? So I know that you work with Laura, so I'll actually have her reach out to you. And I remember you from Academy, so definitely will be reaching out. We hope that you're doing great this year so far. So um, thank you guys for taking the time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care.